does work. So in order to get to move to the new, you sort of need a burning platform or something that pushes you in that direction, because otherwise these entities can be relatively slow to move for a lot of valid reasons.
You find a lot of private enterprises actually spend a lot of money integrating into these. So I think over time, this is a network problem. As more banks are able to opt in and develop the infrastructure that's required, I think you will find people adopting it.
We on location. I remember way back. You ain't have no swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag. Now you got a new walk. Now you got new swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with digital assets, we hodl and we trade. And when we do hodl, we make sure it's on a cold storage wallet so we have full access to our funds and no one else. Okay, you're talking about the DCENT wallet here. The link is in the description. The most easy and safe hardware wallet, enhanced crypto protection, built on the highest security standards. What is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, I want to thank you for coming to my jungle. First of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology, but there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give my business. So today, we are coming in hot on Ripple and XRP. Are you seeing the floodgates of news? And these integrations are coming in so hot, fast, and heavy. How are you supposed to keep up? But before we can even get started, I'm going to need you to rub them hands together real vigorously. Slide down Twitter. Coming in hot from Ripple, we have here Julian Sawyer, CEO of Zodia. Blockchain is the future. Tokenization is the future. It's a question of how we get there and at what speed.
It all goes back to one premise, which is the blockchain is the future, tokenization is the future. It's the question of how we get there and what speed we do that. There's been a lot of conversation about regulation and compliance, but equally, and just as important, there's a lot of conversation about real-world cases, about solving problems in today's world. And it's great to be here to be able to talk externally with other players about how we should all work together.
So we're talking about Ripple Swell, the world's most influential voices across crypto, blockchain, payments, and economic policy. What are they building? So take a look at this here. We have Alia Zaroni, COO of DIFC Authority, highlights UAE's tech leadership and DIFC's role in advancing Web3 for the future of finance. Like they're integrating with Ripple. What are they telling you? Are they forecasting you what they're doing? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you can get off the tube for a second and look at this innovation being built right in front of your face.
So I would say digital assets as a whole. This is a $1 trillion industry that obviously the IFC cannot ignore. We strive to embrace it really and ensure that we regulate it and we ensure that we provide those opportunities and protection to the investors and those that are using those digital assets to unlock that potential. DFSA has issued a number of years ago to allow those companies dealing with crypto and blockchain to test their products before they launch them to the market. There was also the crypto token regime where the XRP got approved really recently that also embraces those technologies.
Do you see this? They're telling you right now that they're integrating these things as we speak. They are building the plumbing like Mr. Novogratz told us 4 years ago.
Recently also announced the Dubai AI and Web3 campus in the DIFC to attract more than 500 international AI and Web3 companies to come and set up shop in the UAE.
I hope you got your moon boots packed. And so what do you think the BIS is doing, blockchain monkeys? Right here, Black Swan Capitalist Lynette Zhang explained the BIS has their money flower, which is a tool or mechanism to accelerate early adoption of XRP and XLM. When Rosie Rio said the train has already left the station, this is what she was hinting at.
The Bank for International Settlements publishes their money flower, and there is a small space in that money flower for those private cryptocurrencies. So I agree with you that the winners of this have already been chosen.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Right? And I think that you just named the two that are most likely that. And I think also Wall Street's totally adopted Bitcoin.
Hey, Wall Street, we got what you need. I love intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man.
Now we got this coming in hot from Chad Steingraber, Business Wire, Berkshire Hathaway. Can you take a look at this document real quick? Like you're telling us, you're really giving us so many breadcrumbs. We have no choice but to eat. We got here, Ripple transformed payments experience to unlock enterprise crypto adoption. Now come on over here real quick. More than ever, leading Web2 companies and legacy payments institutions are investing resources to integrate blockchain utility into their services. You're talking over 80% of global finance leaders are likely to begin using some form of cryptocurrencies in their business in the next 3 years. What they're telling you is they're building this thing. Why don't you grab a few? Now, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but OMG. You got Chad here continuing to hit you with this heat. Right here, today was the biggest news drop in history of crypto adoption. Now, what does this say? This is coming from the Hsbc, level the playing field.
The currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all on a level playing field.
And so looking at this press release, coming in hot from the Hsbc, we got here Adrian Triscani, I'm sorry, I probably butchered that, but the CEO and founder of MEXC, who also has a partnership with who? Ripple. So that means they were going to be using what? XRP. Okay, now, MEXC is excited to be working with your Hsbc as it continues to explore the applications of DLT, distributed ledger technologies, ladies and gentlemen.
It's DLT up in these streets, man.
And this is for asset creation and custody. Custody infrastructure, such as MEXC's Harmonize, which integrates with financial institutions, existing systems will be critical to how issuers, investors, and interact as capital markets and assets in general continue to be represented on distributed ledger. Oh my goodness.
Could be much clearer at a minimum. And, I think what we're seeing in the quick.
Well, of course, what we're all referring to, and I think everyone in this room pretty much knows what I'm talking about, is the SEC case, which a judge ruled in your favor around XRP and whether or not it was improperly issued as a security. Are we calling that done and dusted, or are you bracing yourself for some kind of remedy or appeal process?
Well, look, I think the SEC clearly lost on everything that matters. There is a remedy process which continues forward. There's the unknown, and I know Chair Gensler is on stage later. You should ask him if they're going to appeal. That would be great. Look, I that's not a knowable thing. And from my point of view, they lost on things they care most about. But by the same token, if they move it up the appellate ladder, it becomes more amplified as a decision of consequence. And so it'll be interesting. I think it's a strategic trade-off. I'm sure there's way more lawyers in this room than I'm comfortable, that you guys know more about than I do. But I think it's to be determined whether or not I choose to appeal. I think regardless of whether they appeal, I feel really good about it. I think it's very clear the SEC now has lost. They lost 3 times with Ripple. They lost. I know the CEO of Grayscale is on. They lost the Grayscale case. And by the way, these are federal judges saying things. I'll quote Grayscale. The judge said that the SEC was being arbitrary and capricious. I mean, this is damning language from a federal judge. I also happen to believe, as long as I want to roll here, look, at some point when you have you keep trying to do the same thing, and you keep having the same outcome, at some point you change your approach. What I hope it would be magical if Chair Gensler got up here and said, hey, we're going to change our approach. We have lost time and time and time again, so let's step back. Apparently, we haven't had it right because the judicial branch is saying we keep getting it wrong. And so it would be great to have that constructive dialogue. I would be happy to go to the SEC today.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respecting elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in the streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.